All right, so every now and then, man, besides just the typical oppressor and torture kills, stuff like that, I will go against people in free mode. Obviously, there's a lot of God mode people. We started using it a couple months back because it was getting out of control. But you guys have seen me go against a lot of different people in free mode, particularly. Uh, Now, last night on stream, if you guys were watching, you would have saw this. But we went in against like two or three different people, I think. Some of it wasn't clipped or I wasn't recording it at the time, but I figured I'd grab these clips, man, and turn this into a video. I think I even mentioned it, but hopefully you guys do enjoy this, man. If you guys do, make sure you guys hit that like button. But look, man, like I said, I mean, going against these people, it's always an excuse, even if we're, not using God mode, not using the oppressor, somebody's going to mention BST, somebody's going to mention armor, somebody's going to make some kind of excuse. If I start using the Torritor to get kills, they're going to be like, man, you got to use the Torritor to get your kills or something, And I actually don't, I think I'd put like maybe 2 oppressor clips in this entire almost 8 minutes in this video. So, there shouldn't be much of an excuse. And this other dude had a CEO. He was probably using BST. In my opinion, and also my controller kept dying. I couldn't find my cable, which was crazy. Also, if it's not a real 1v1, whether it's at beach, airport, base, wherever you're 1v1ing, it shouldn't matter what's happening in free mode. I mean, obviously, if somebody's in God mode or you're in God mode, that's going to make a big difference versus how someone's playing. There's no point in doing a real 1v1 in that situation. But in free mode, I mean, literally anything and everything goes technically. I mean, even God mode. It sucks that Rockstar won't get rid of it, but at the same time, it's still there, so it's something you have to kind of expect if you are not in it, which I did for years. And a lot of people, like I mentioned, what was that video I made like 2 weeks ago or something, or a week ago, saying that most YouTubers and all that shit would never actually stay in free mode. Most of them you don't see make content in free mode, but I mean, they will be in free mode, and most of the time they're not doing it on live streams. They're doing it on separate videos, and they're probably dying, but editing the kills out, so on and so on. But I'm probably one of the few that does that shit, especially for hours on end. Some people want to say it's boring, but to me, it's like hiding in an invite-only session for hours on end fighting one person or 2 people is boring. I'd rather get multiple kills in so many minutes or however many, hours versus get one kill on somebody at the same time, or might be 10 times, 15 times in an hour. That's just, to me, just doesn't. That's not the same vibe. But yeah, like I said, man, going against these 2 people, 3 people technically, but the other guy, I think he ended up leaving because the other guy was going ghost and shit. But this guy right here, or girl, whoever, man, it's like ended up being like 17-2 or some shit. And I'm like, God damn. So this is actually one of my alts that I'm playing on right here. Doesn't even have max stats, not even in my top tier account. And I'm still dogging on him, man. And now, keep in mind, the Bull Shark does give you a little bit more of a boost as far as like more damage, but you can still get dropped the same way as you can on a stacked account in the same sense. Your damage, you can't take as much damage if you don't have the max capacity for your strength, which I didn't. I think the stamina is maxed out, but not the strength. Which I think the only way you can actually bump that up is by hitting NPCs. I think there's like even a job you can do. I need to get that bumped up on that alt, and I run lobbies, but that is a disadvantage. So if you guys are getting into fights, just be aware that if you are playing on something with max or low strength compared to max strength, it is going to be a little bit different. You may not be able to take as much damage. And it could also depend on if somebody's got like armor piercing rounds, FMJ rounds, shit like that. So keep that in mind. But like I said, man, just going against these different people. Now, we had actually been in skill mode earlier prior to this, and people were like, well, you can't get no kills if you're not in this, and you have to rely on doing this. And I think it's hilarious to prove people wrong when it comes to this. And it's like, well, another thing is too, the thousands of videos that are there to prove it, plus live streams, shorts, and all that other shit. So yeah, I mean, clearly we can dominate without any of that shit. But this is, I don't know. And then this dude right here started going in an RC car, and I thought this was funny because right after he hit me with the RC car, he spawned right here beside me, and then he was going to try to end up EWOing, and he got dropped. So that's embarrassing on his part, and I think he ended up leaving. But the thing is with free mode, if you're thinking about trying free mode, just know that anything can happen in free mode. I think right here it's going to show the score on this. 17-2 is ridiculous. I'm sorry, man. That wasn't even a glitch score. Like, that was like counting all the way up. That's crazy. Sniped him. Like, we were just taking out everybody. And I know some people would be like, why are you taking him out? He ain't doing nothing. You know, I'm like, cuz I take out everything. This dude right here was stream sniping, I'm pretty sure, and he was trying to take me out right here with his God mode oppressor. Literally failed so bad. Like, he had every chance right there to get me, and he failed. So that was pretty much it as far as that went. We might still try to do, you know, those here and there. Damn, did him dirty for real. Because I know a lot of you guys enjoy that instead of seeing just straight, you know, oppressor kills getting, you know, griefed and shit like that. So, I mean, sometimes it's better to just grief people with the sniper or some shit, which I don't like always getting kills with snipers. Now, I have got some nasty ass hit with the snipers, but I honestly prefer ARs or, you know, moving across the map. Because 9 times out of 10, if you have somebody that's staying around in the city or wherever you're fighting, that's when it's fun. If you have to like continuously run around the block and shit to find somebody and they're running from you, that's just, you're just chasing a whole bunch of nothing. And this guy right here didn't know how to fly as a oppressor. He fell off that shit. But yeah, that to me is just ass. That's why you'll see me like moving around the oppressor, because 9 times out of 10, if you look at the map, everybody is so split up. It's not like it used to be like in early days of PS4, especially on PS3, when you had everybody wanting to fight in one area. Now it's like more like car focused. People are trying to just like essentially do their own thing, but it's like at the same time they're forgetting that they're in free mode, you know. And I think it's hilarious, but it is what it is, you know. If people come in free mode, they just need to expect that. You know, I always call the people that don't want to get in the fights the Need for Speed players, because they don't think, or they don't know that what kind of game they're in apparently. So I don't know, man. But let me know what you guys think, man. If you haven't already, hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Like I said, we will probably end up doing more type of stuff like this. It does take a little bit longer because, like I said, some people don't want to get in direct fights in free mode. They want to use God mode, or which, you know, we use it sometimes too, obviously. But you know, I don't mind here and there as long as there's not people following me around and shit. What the fuck? That clip right there was insane. I don't know what happened right here with this dude. But his fucking, what's that shit called? The Sparrow? That shit fucking went invisible. I don't know. He like fell out of it or something. But anyways, we'll leave it at that. Let me know what you guys think, and you guys have a good one. Peace.